All right, we continue. The first the first session was interrupted due to electricity. Now we promise you that we'll finish in this one. All right. So without even wasting our time, shall we start? So the thing is, what we are going to do is we'll just go direct to those questions which came in 2022. All right, and the questions I'm talking about, okay. So the question I'm talking about are these questions, these ones. All right, are you able to see? So these questions, such as this one and also this one, so like they covered 8 marks and we'll get that 8 marks together. All right. So these are the questions that you saw there. So solution 1 or just A. So what we need to do is, or what we need to know for us to solve this one, we can use the absolute method, whereby we cite some quotation, we cite some evidence to say we can use this blah 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 to mean, to define the absolute value. All right. Now that we are fast in this video, we won't talk about that. Instead, we'll just go direct to the solutions. So I'll say solution 1. All right. Okay. So that's A. Okay. So this f of x is same as what? So I'll say f of x is equal to what? Absolute of x. All right. Sure. So that absolute simply means the absolute value is just a value that is found on the number line. So it can be, let's say the absolute value of a certain number of x can be this side on the negative side or on the positive side. All right, that's the meaning of absolute value. So whenever you see absolute value, expect two values. All right, the positive and the negative, that's the meaning of absolute value. So what you are going to do is, if this f of x can be written as y is equal to what? X x in the absolute value, like that. So then from there, what we can do here, we can, for us to cancel this absolute, we multiply or we square both sides. So that would be now y squared is equal to what? X squared. Now that we just want y, so we'll say y, you do what? The root thing there. All right. So that would be y is equals to what? Root of what? X. You just end there. Okay. So this means that f of x, all right, because y is f of x like we saw there, it can also be that thing. All right. So hope that is clear. So now that this is just same as x in the root, so I'll be using now the same x in the root to actually solve this question. All right, because it is now shown that it is equal to that f of x. All right. So then what I'm going to do is, so you explain like that, we know that that's how you solve, right? Don't forget, those who, especially those who are in Mr. Sakara's class, can relate. All right. So Elizabeth, are you there? Okay. Then the thing is, we apply now the formula. So the formula states to say the f prime, or just the dy dx of such a function using first principle, will give the what? Will cite the formula. So the formula is okay. So the formula is what? The formula is lim as h approaches 0 of f of x, like that, x plus what? Change in what? Y, then minus the initial y over change in x. That's the meaning of this principle. So now what we are going to do is, we'll say lim as h approaches 0. All right. Then we replace, now wherever there's that, we replace this value. All right, this value there. So I'll say that would be now what? That would be x in the root, because wherever there's x, you do what? You put x plus h, like that. All right. So these guys are now in the what? In the brackets, like that. Then minus the same thing now, root what? Root x, like that. Root x squared. All right. Then I'll say lim as h approaches 0. All right. So here there was something like h, right? So we are doing this. Then what you are going to do is, let me just light it properly. All right. Okay, let me just write it properly. Then I'll say that is x plus h open bracket squared over h, then there's minus what, the same x squared, like that. So from there, then what I'm going to do is I'll say this is the rim 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 all right, as h approaches 0. All right, so I'll multiply now by its conjugate. This thing here, I can't have a situation whereby I can't go any further here. All right, instead I need to do what, because the 0 here, the h, I'm restricting 0. If I substitute 0 as denominator, then that will be discarded. It will be something else. We don't have a situation whereby 0 can be over in mathematics. So we'll say x plus h squared. All right, then here now it will be the same thing, x squared, like that. Then we are trying to multiply by what's each conjugate. So now what I'm going to do is I'll bring the conjugate of that, so that is root what, x plus h squared, like that, in the brackets. Okay, then this will be plus root what, x squared. Then also there, that will be now root x plus h squared plus root x squared, like that. We are done like that. Then from there we'll say rim as h approaches 0. All right, then we multiply. Now these are now difference of 2 square, you can see there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll just get that one and cancel this, and this will cancel, so we'll just remain with what, one thing inside. All right, so this means that I'll have one thing inside, which is just squared. So we'll say x plus h squared. All right, then minus, that is just x what, that is just x squared again for this case, because it's difference of 2 square. All right, so then h open bracket, then I have what, x plus h squared, like that, then plus root what, root x squared, like that. So we are done like that. Okay, then the other thing that we can do is now just to do what, allow me to actually expand this. So you can be saying lim as h approaches at this stage that I want to do. So I'll just go direct, I won't write lim, I'll just say equal. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll expand this part here. All right, so once I expand that part, then it will be what, so if I expand that part, that will be x squared plus 2xh plus, no, that is h. Okay, then plus h squared, like that, then minus x squared, like that. Okay, over, we have what, h open bracket root of x plus what, h, then these guys are squared, like that. Okay, then minus plus root of what, x squared, like that. Okay, so that is it. Then allow me to actually shift this one to this side. Then what we are going to do is, it's a long, that's why it was given 8 marks, it's not for jokes. So then from there, we'll actually, this one and this one, you can see, can go. All right, so I'll remain with what, and if by upon me okay, let me just light that, someone may get lost there. So don't forget the word lim at this point in where I'm writing. So you always light what, lim as h approaches something. So plus h squared, like that. All right, over h open bracket, then root of what, x plus h open bracket squared, like that, then plus root of what, x squared, like that. Okay, so now from there, then I'll factorize. So let me just bring the, in case someone has forgotten, so h as it approaches 0, then I'll factorize what is common there is h on the numerator. Then I'll say this is 2x, all right, plus h like that. Okay, then from there I have h there, then open bracket, I have what, x plus h squared, these guys inside they are squared, all right, plus root of x squared like that. Then this is where now this one and this one goes. Now when I now replace the value, the issue of lim, I place the value of h, then lim I forget, so I'll say 2x plus z, where there is h I'll put 0, then even inside there where there is h that will be x plus what, 0, so squared like that, then that will be just x squared. All right, so this is now 2x, all right, over, this is root x squared, because that 0 will cancel, then there's minus there, right? No, that's plus, so that's plus root x squared like that. So this will give me what, 2x over 2x of root x like that. So this is what our first option. There we can still divide, there are things that can divide there, you see. So allow me to lab. So we are almost there, guys. Hope you are liking this. Okay, so that is 3 I've rubbed. Then from there, then we'll get now from there. So I'm getting from there is 2x, all right, over 2 root of what, x squared like that, right? So now this and this can go, so I've remained with what, x over root of what, x squared like that. Okay, so now we said x squared is same as what, absolute of x, so I'll say x, we proved this, so I'll say x absolute of that. All right, so absolute simply means an answer can be negative or positive, so I'll get the first one where x is what, on the number line there is 0, right? Here they are negative, so x this side is what, x is what, is less than, then this side x is what, is greater than, right? So what you are going to do is now x, when x is greater than, all right, 0, which is now this side, right, I'll say, I'll put a positive, so I'll say that is x, I'll put just a positive, I get a positive answer there down there, so that will give me what, positive 1, right? So then from there, when again x is what, is less than 0, then this will be now my x, then over, I'm putting the negative x there, so the answer now will be what, negative 1 like that, right? So this simply means these are the values of what, the dy dx from first principle of this guy. So it was a very trick question, so these are the questions they like, so also you can solve when you are given root x like that using first principle, solve that one. All right, so that's about that one. So there's nothing difficult here. Hope you have copied everything we are from lighting. Don't get lost. All right, so don't get lost. We still have a long way to go in engineering mathematics, so this is just the beginning. All right, so I say try this, the one I'm rubbing. Okay, so now solving question B, now we'll say now f of x, all right, is equal to 1 over 3 minus what, 7x. Of course this you can solve using what, using just another type of principle. So I'll say this is just 1, so I'll say that is 3 minus 7x like that, then to the power negative what, 1, so that 1 is there. All right, so that is what, 3 minus 7x, all right, minus 1 like that. Okay, so now this is what we call now power rule, so I'll multiply this one on in front there, that will be now negative 1, open bracket, you write the same thing there inside. All right, then you differentiate what is inside and multiply. So once you differentiate what is inside, which is the u, it will give you what, it will give you something like negative 7, right? So you say negative 7. All right, so that will give you what, negative times negative, that is positive, so it will be positive 7 alright. Then here it will be negative 2 once you subtract, right? Subtract minus 1 there, so that will be 3 minus 7x, alright, then minus 2. So that is, now we can say 7, that is negative, so I'll say 3 minus 7x, open bracket, negative 2. You see, so this is the answer. So now we are not into this, we are into first principle. So we are using first principle. I was just showing you that sometimes you, before even finding the answer, try another method that you know is fast, and before using, because first principle sometimes gives some errors, all right, as we are doing some conjugate things, everything like that. So we'll be very fast. So now coming to this guy, we apply the formula. So that's B. Now we apply the same formula. F of prime of x is equal to what? Is equal to f of x. So before even that, I'm saying lim, alright, lim as h approaches 0, alright, of f of x. Now I'm not writing that, I'll just write exactly the same thing, alright. So I'm just like, wherever there is x, put that function. So what I'm going to do is I'll write 1 there, alright. After writing 1 there, I'm writing 3 there, minus 7. Wherever there is x, I'm putting this function, alright. Then after doing this, you subtract the same thing you have done, then minus what? Minus the same thing. So you say minus the same function. The same function is what? 3 minus 7x, like that. Okay, hope that is clear. Then you divide throughout by, so I'm saying divide throughout by what? H. Alright, so I'm dividing throughout by x. So h is dividing throughout. So I'll say again, lim as h approaches what? 0. Then what you are going to do is just a matter of grouping there. So I'll distribute the negatives. So I'll say 1 over 3 minus 7x, then minus what? 7h, like that, right? Okay. Then there is what? Minus 1 over 3 minus 7x, like that. Okay. So then divide by what? H. Okay. So then, as we'll be doing this now, we are looking at the common denominator there also, right? So say lim as h approaches 0. So the common denominator there is what? Everything we have there. So we have 3 minus 7x, alright. Then we have also what? 3 minus 7x minus 7h, like that. Okay, then we multiply there. What is there into that? That will be just 3 minus 7 what? X. Okay, minus 1, open bracket, we bring that one, we bring this function there. So we're saying 3 minus 7 x minus 7 h, like that. Okay, so from there then again we say rim as h approaches 0. So we are just grouping the right terms now. 7x, that will be now negative what? 3. Then a negative there into that will be positive 7 x, then that will be positive what? 7 h, like that. Then over, alright. So over is extending to that side, so that will be now. So even before this over, we are dividing throughout by what? By h. Don't forget that. Okay, so we are dividing throughout by what? By h. Okay, so upon us dividing throughout by h, so we are saying now what is common? What is that down there? Is 3x, 7, like that. Then 3 minus 7x minus what? 7h, like that. Okay, then from there what you are going to do is on top there you can see 3 goes and 3 goes, right? 7x goes. So on top we have just remained with 7x. So say rim as h approaches what? 0, right? as h approaches 0, then what you're going to have there on top is just 7 what h over, then here we'll have what 3 minus 7x, open bracket, 3 minus 7x minus 7h. All right, so that's what we have remained with. So I'm continuing from here. So now that it is dividing by what, by h, so now this will be now inverse of h, so that is 1 over h, right? So we can see now, okay, before I even like that, we'll say we'll subfactorize now. We'll say rim as h approaches 0, then I'm factorizing that h on top there, so I'll have what 7 like that. All right, then I have what 3 minus 7x. all right, then open bracket, 3 minus 7x, then minus 7 what h, then it's dividing by h, so I'll just do the reciprocal, so that will be 1 over what h. all right, so now we can see this h and that h goes. So what we are going to do is we remain the 7 on top there. All right, and the moment I've remained the 7 on top there, so that's 7, right? So I'm leaving the word lim and substitute wherever there's what, there's h, the value which is needed. So that is x, so there it will be 3 minus 7 x. So here you can see it's 0. Once I put 0 on where there is that will be just 0, right? So that will be now 2. There are two things which are same, so I'll just write one thing. So I'll say 3 minus 7x squared, like that. So this is the answer that I needed. So thank you very much for watching the video. This was the last part we left in that question paper 2022. So imagine getting 8 marks, 16 marks. All right, so imagine getting 16 marks. So it's one of the progress. Out of 80 marks you are getting now 16 marks. So just imagine that you have this, what have you remained with, then you are done. So we'll be solving a lot of papers. Videos for a lot of papers are there, you just have to inbox, you access them. There are a lot of past papers that we solved already. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video. Subscribe please, so that we can be alerted whenever you post in your channel, that's Beng channel. All right, thank you very much once more.